Hi, I'm Chef Raphael and welcome to today's video. This is a new series that I've started on Love and Meals meal kit. Now, what is Love and Meals? Or basically, what is a meal kit? A meal kit is basically when you get the ingredients of a certain recipe. And these two dishes that I've made T-bone steak with a delicious creamy mushroom pepper sauce, some French beans, and cheesy mashed potato. This is a meal for two people, and all ingredients to make this dish are all in this box. So what basically a meal kit is, basically, like I said, is you order online loveandmeals.co.ke and you're delivered for the ingredients. We have the mushrooms, we have the potatoes, we have the onions, we have the cream to make the sauce, we have the milk to make the mashed potato, the cheese, the brandy that will make the flambé, or basically the sauce. This is part of the ingredient for the sauce. We have the French beans and the meat. It's cold, it's actually fresh and cold. Just make sure whenever you receive the meal kit, if you're not going to prepare it immediately, place whatever that is perishable in the fridge. And that's the Love and Meals meal kit. It says here, have fun cooking, and this coming weekend, depending on when you're watching this video, is Father's Day. Father's Day is coming up soon. This is a great idea for your kids. Now, you, the mom, or you can order this meal and create fun meals with your kids together. Make the whole dish together and present it to your dad, to their dad. So that's the whole point. But it doesn't have to be on this particular occasion of Father's Day. It can be a date night. It can be whenever you have kids, you have guests, or when you want to have something different. The ingredients that we pack in the box will actually exactly the way you will prepare them, and there will be no wastage. So it's really fun. It's a different way of having food takeout. So in this video, I'll show you how to make these dishes: the mashed potato, the French beans, the T-bone steak, and the sauce. Watch till the end so that you also see how I have actually plated the dish. And without further ado, let's get started. So we have the whole setup. I've already unboxed the box. I have the meat. We have the T-bone steak. We have the mushroom. I've already cut it into slices. French beans, when you receive it, just either you can cut it in two, or you just remove. What I've just done is remove the top part, the part that we don't eat. Slice the onion, and then we have the cheese that will be going into the mashed potatoes, the cream for the sauce, the milk will be for the mashed potato. We also have the brandy. And again, very important to note is that you need to have salt, pepper, and oil in your home. That does not come in the package. So the potato is already cooking. I've already peeled and started boiling in salty water. I'll be cooking the French beans in a pan in salty water. In fact, for the French beans, all I'm doing is blanching them or cooking them boiling them, not frying them. And then the pan is hot. So we'll start by seasoning of the meat. Now remember, when you're getting the meat, if you're not going to cook it immediately, just make sure you actually place it in a fridge or in the freezer, but ideally in the fridge. I'm assuming whenever you're ordering this meal kit, you're ordering it to prepare immediately. Remember, right now what we're doing, this is for the Father's Day campaign. Of course, when you're doing a meal, it doesn't have to be, it can be for the date night. Right now, you want to surprise let's say your dad or your husband with your kids, and then you make this meal together with your kids. Now, seasoning first. So salt and pepper. The idea when you're doing a steak is you season it well, generously, and then pan is hot, so a little bit of oil. Now whenever you're making the steak, depending on the size of your pan, you can either make the two of them, but in this case we'll do it one at a time. And then the other thing, when you first cook it on the first side, also season the other side. So the water for the French beans is boiling. So all I need to do is cook them when the water starts boiling. Now for the steak, now it's very important. I'm actually using a cast iron pan, which is a non-stick pan. So it's a good idea to use a non-stick pan. And if you're going to use something like this, this is a stainless steel pan, be careful for it to stick when it's sticking. It needs to be really hot. Put the oil, and when it's hot and the oil is actually smoking hot is when you place the meat. And then at some point you need to free it from the surface in case it's stuck. And the whole idea is to just get it to brown. The pieces that I have here, they're not very thick, so it takes about a minute or two, about 2 minutes maximum. And then I need to turn it to the second side. So that it cooks on the second side. So if you're doing this with your kids, again, because here we are saying that you're doing this for your husband, who is your kid's father. It's Father's Day. It can be for date night. A few tricks you need to use. You can do it together, whereby you can have them, let's say, prepare the French beans, or when we start mashing, maybe if your children are old enough, they can also start mashing. So try and make it fun for the kids. Remember, loveandmeals.co.ke is the website where you need to get the meal kit. And it's when cooking is about having fun. And what I love about this whole new concept of meal kit is that you can have restaurant quality food by you making them, because the products that you're selling to you are really high quality in terms of where we source the products. So the first piece of meat is done. I want it at medium well done. So this is done. Remember, it's not a very thick piece, so it doesn't take long to cook. So you place it on a plate, and then we'll cook the second one. And then after that is when we start cooking the sauce for the mushroom sauce that will go very well with this meat. So second piece is ready. It's always a good idea to let your meat rest. And resting is basically, don't cook it and serve it immediately. Keep it on the side and then cover it so that it doesn't get cold, but basically for the juices, because if you serve it immediately, what will happen, especially with steak, you cut it, the juices will start flowing out, which is not so good. Now we want to make the sauce. Using the same pan, a little bit of oil. We're going to fry the onion and mushroom. We're making a mushroom sauce. So the idea is to brown, to let it brown completely and cooked. You can choose to cut the onions in slices, or you can make them chopped. I think either is fine. Now to this I'm going to season the sauce. Now if you have powdered pepper is fine. It's just that when you're using the freshly ground pepper, that gives better taste. And you have more control of how much you add. The French beans are ready. I've just boiled them in salty water and they are ready to go. You can also fry them, like fry the onion. You fry the onion with a little bit of oil or butter and then add the French beans. But in this case, I prefer just having them boiled. They are delicious. This is ready. Now again, when you're using a meal kit, the main advantage of using a meal kit is that you get the ingredients that sometimes you probably don't know where to buy them, or maybe finding the right ingredients may be a challenge for you. So the meal kit idea is just a good idea in terms of you want the right quality of final product, and which you need the right quality of ingredients. We go to the brandy. What the brandy does is add flavor. It's optional in terms of using it. Comes in the meal kit. So this is how you use it. We're going to increase the heat and we are going to do like a flambé, and what this does is deglaze the pan. The deglazing of the pan is when you want to remove the flavors on the pan. So what you need to do is pour it and that is flavor that you've added into the pan. The flame is the alcohol that actually burns away. And then to this I'll add a little bit of water. And finally, we add the cream. So that's how you make the sauce. I've not added the whole amount of cream, which is about 250 ml. It's up to you. You have to judge as you're cooking, you have to judge by the quantities that you are making, but this is enough for 2 people or 2 servings. So the idea now is to wait for the sauce to become thick. Now remember, we have the meat here. The meat already has some juices that have accumulated on the plate. Just put them back to the meat, to the sauce. And the sauce is ready. To turn off the heat. Now if you overboil it, what usually happens, it becomes more and more thick. And if you still have some cream left, you can add, but again you can also add a little bit of water to make it a little bit light. But the sauce is ready, now waiting for serving. Now I'll quickly finish the mashed potato. Mash it, add the cheese that comes with the meal kit. If you don't like cheese or you don't want to add cheese, you can just mash the potatoes, add milk. Because we already had salt in the potatoes, all you probably need to add is some black pepper or nutmeg, If you don't like cheese, you can skip the cheese, but you want to make it special. So that's simply how you do the mashed potato. So when it comes to serving, I've already plated the first plate. Remember, this is a meal kit for 2 servings. My cheesy mashed potato, maybe about 2 scoops, like that. And then, now for color, if you want to add some more color, you can add diced tomatoes. And then what I've just done here is, after, remember, we just boiled them, add a little bit of oil, toast them, and then they look nice and delicious. And then for the meat, place it on top, the mashed potato. You can press it down a little bit. Don't waste anything. And then you also have the option of either serving the sauce on the side like that, right? Or you serve it on top of the meat, and that's your meal. So that's the whole dish from the box. You have some maybe leftover, let's say, of the sauce, which you can make, you can add into the meat. Maybe this is not enough. This is the amount of potato that is left. Basically, the whole point about this whole meal kit idea is that you cook everything. The French beans are all done, are all cooked, so you don't have any wastage. And I hope it's something that you try. Remember, we are doing it at loveandmeals.co.ke to order your meal kit. It's Father's Day weekend, this coming weekend. And remember, it's not just when you have an occasion like this. This is something you can try out for a date night, for when you have guests, when you want to give them a special meal. This is the solution for you. Hope you've liked it. Looking forward to your comments on the comment section, and let me know what you think about this whole concept, and order yours right now on the links that I'll also add on the description below. Until next time, goodbye.